Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to my channel, WYRD is the New Black. Thanks for joining. My name is Kat, and this is a pick a card reading about why this person is behaving this way, if you're confused. Sorry, I've been a bit delayed since the last pick a card reading. That's mainly because I've been doing a whole heap of gardening and being outside and checking up on the neighbours and yeah, just taking some downtime as well, which I haven't been great at. Now I'm beginning to enjoy. So apologies if you've been waiting on this, but anyway, so stack 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. Please take a moment to resonate towards your stack, take a breath, take a pause, and I will see you on the other side. Hello, stack number 1s, and welcome. So this is an interesting one. We've got 3 tarot up here. We've got the 8 of Swords, the Devil, dun dun dun, and the World. 2 major arcanas, 2 sizable major arcanas together. Bad is called good when worse happens. That's a proverb from Norway on this giant wrecking ball. Then excess, stress, overload, exhaustion, obsessiveness, gluttony, burdens, worries, the breaking point. Politeness pleases even a cat. Canary spirit, sing your own song. Skunk spirit, know your worth. And Pachamama, healing, holing, and holy. So yeah. This person is not in a good space right now, for sure. They are chained to the devil. I mean, we've got the devil crowning the reading here with excess, like right at the center point. So there's some kind of obsession, addiction, acute codependency I'm hearing as well here. So it could be on an addiction or a substance or a person or a situation or just a mode of behavior as well. Because they are trapped in their brain with this 8 of Swords next to this devil. There's a lot of entrapment energy in the devil anyway, but the 8 of Swords is all tied up. And for me, it always reminds me of like a web. I always see Legacy of the Divine's tarot like depiction, which is a woman caught in a web, which I think is a really good depiction of this card. You can break out, but you need that sword of truth. So the Ace of Swords for me is always the one that relieves this card, like identifying a truth that's really uncomfortable. And this person is in a space where they are literally feeling so bound that they can't express their truth. It's like the devil's got the truth. The devil's got the extra sword. It's not who you want to have it because it's not true. So this person is buying into a hugely stressful situation, hugely excessively stressful, because if you add 8 of Swords to the Devil's Sword here, that's a 9 of Swords, which is enormously stressful. They may be struggling to sleep. This says stress, overload, exhaustion. And that is the primary energy. There's a lot of fear going on with this person, huge anxiety. And I feel like something that they were trapped in, maybe a mindset of some description, is drawing to a close with the world up here, and they are very anxious about this closure. Now, this person may have gone in cycles of getting themselves in like deep with the devil, making pacts with the devil. So whether this is being in the law of an addiction or a person, or some of this could be sex addiction. I'm seeing the horns and I'm hearing horny. so it could be a sex addiction for some people. But I'm hearing substances, and basically the inner demon, very egoic energy with the devil. Like it could be that they've been excessively vain, excessively egotistical, or it could be that they're just that they have diminished themselves and diminished their capability, because really underlying the devil's more preening aspects like vanity or like arrogance, or even, you know, just toxic bullshit non-polite behavior, because it says politeness pleases even a cat. So it's just saying, I feel like it's saying this person has not been I think they've kind of been a bit whingy, actually. Bad is called good when worse happens. This person may have seen, like, be always looking at the glass half empty, potentially here. But whatever has happened, there's been an excess. And they are literally at a kind of a meltdown point at the moment. They are at a tipping point, is what I feel. This has got to give, and this card, there's like this one tiny spirit feather up here that is just about to land on that rock, and one gets the feeling that that is going to just absolutely tower worthy fall. I do feel quite a lot of tower energy coming from this, and it's all because they need to break with this bondage, this situation that they've got going on, potentially with another person here. There are two characters in this card, just like the lovers. But again, it could be a substance or a mode of behavior or a codependency or addictive energy. And you know, it's the devil. It's quite superficial energy, but the fear is not superficial. The fear is deep with this person. So part of the reason why they behave the way they do, possibly like a wrecking ball, and their behavior may be massively excessive, is because, and rude, I'm hearing as well, is because they have told themselves that they're chained to this situation, that there's no way out, that they can't break the web, they can't, and they could have got themselves into this web themselves. This could be a web of their own deceit here for some of these people. You do have to take what resonates, because let's face it, the devil covers a lot of ground. A lot of ground. So Canary Spirit down here says, sing your own song. And this person needs to foster their own independence, which is why I think the codependency is a big issue for this individual, because Canary Spirit for me encourages independence of expression, but not in a way that smashes apart anyone else. That's stinky behavior, the skunk spirit. That is, it's just, that means people won't want to be around this person. And it says know your worth, and self-worth is a massive issue for this individual. Huge They feel trapped, and I think that there's possibly been a lot of taking for granted. This gluttony is standing out to me. I feel like if they're in a relationship, or they're caught in a relationship that is feeling toxic and unhealthy, it's because one party in this relationship has been taking on all the responsibility. And it could be this person, or that's how they feel maybe, but it could be the other person. And this is like backbreaking. And I'm feeling a lot of 10 of Wands energy coming through with this card as well for me. So it's a kind of, like, literally hitting a limit, like literally can't take any more of this cycle, the world. They may have had this a couple of times. They may have, like I say, gone around a couple of times in situations that they've got themselves locked into in a very toxic manner, that they become kind of obsessional about, and in a very low energy. And either the other person breaks free from them, and or something happens where they are kind of freed by the universe, almost, because the world is my universe card. She is like, for me, it's like a spiritual intervention. And it's kind of, I feel that their behavior, though, is really fixed, because in this particular world, you've got those 4 zodiacal elements that really stand out. They're all the fixed signs. So you've got Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus up here. And I feel like, and these stars were called like the corners of the heavens. They were used to navigate with. And this person does really desperately want to free themselves from either this mindset or this situation or this pattern, this repetitive pattern, because it's just too excessive. Now, whether they can do that or not is another question, because I'm feeling that codependency is really strong. So they may be the kind of person that abdicates responsibility of ending or changing something, and instead waits for the situation to literally, boom, like cataclysmically be destroyed. You know, and a sea of rubble ensues, and because they may feel that they just can't, that they don't have the power or the authority or the choice factor in ending it, because that the sword belongs to the devil. Like, the devil gets to decree. And I really do feel like almost this is like shade energy, but it's sanctioned shade energy, because it's, if you make a deal with the devil, then the devil wants his due, right? So I do feel that it's part of the spiritual journey. It's part of the spiritual lesson. This is university sanctioned energy, because everybody needs to fight their devil, and the devil is your inner demon. Whatever that is, it's your Achilles heel, right? So this person may be caught in a very toxic situation, a partnership, relationship, friendship even, like, but it's way too close for comfort. Like, it's insufferable. I'm feeling it's really suffocating for this person, and they might be really not fun to deal with right now, really not fun to deal with, because instead of claiming their independence, I feel like the universe is just about to take away their options, almost so that they have to be independent. Sing your own song. Like, there's not much that you can do when the wrecking ball destroys the house. You've just got to move out the house, right? It's like, but this mindset of feeling stuck will be shattered, because actually the universe is trying to release this person, and so that they can find some personal relief in this situation, so that they can get out of corrupted, turgid, very toxic energy, like slimy. I'm feeling like slimy, grim, like kind of molded sensation of energy. It's really not very nice at all. And they need to elevate themselves by closing down on this cycle and getting an overview. And I think that's coming. And they need that overview in order to protect their own purity, their own inner light, and not tangle with these forces. This person may not be able to just leave it or leave a situation. Again, it's a really underlying fear of like having to conclude anything, I think, but it may be as well that comes across as just not letting it go, not letting it lie. Like, and it's the straw that breaks the camel's back for this person. And it could be somebody else is saying to them, done, I'm done. And claiming their worth, or this person could be choosing to do that. I just don't, there's not a lot of choice factor going on here. This person doesn't really acknowledge that they have choice in this equation at the moment, and that's the problem. That's the ultimate problem. That's where the devil really gets us, because the devil convinces us that we've got no choice. We can't change, we can't adapt, we can't alter, we have to carry the burdens. This could be a lot to do with other people's stuff as well that this person wants to carry. Or it could be that they have just really, really pushed the limit way too far. Like they've done damage and they've been rude about it, and now somebody else is going to sever them, or the devil is going to say, thanks, you're paid now, I'm cutting you free, but I'm not cutting you free with anything. So it's almost like this person needs to collapse in a heap. There needs to be a sea change, and I do feel like there will be a shift coming up quite soon where the universe steps in. She's going to, I mean, I don't think she's overly impressed with this person, I'll be honest. Look at this cat's face. It's like, I see you. Do you realise how impolite you have been? There's that kind of feeling about it. It's like, we need to exit you from this situation and you need to do some healing. Now, it could be that this is the person that is excessively put into this situation, excessive, and they can't take any more this lack of appreciation is what I'm feeling. That's for very few though. That is for a very few of them. Most of these people are excessively in devil energy, and it's that greed, it's that gluttony, it's that always wanting more. Bad is called good when worse happens. So this person is kind of incredibly difficult to please, very hard to satisfy. And it's because they look to other people to fulfill their needs. They look to other people because they don't want to claim their own independence. They don't want to stand by their own creative endeavours, or they're struggling to acknowledge their worth in the creative arena. Some of these people could be very, very talented, and yet they're either really vain about it, but and don't do anything with it, don't actually further their talent, or they just don't think that they're worthy and can't see how they will claim independence. But this person, when this cycle is broken, will feel so much lighter. They will feel lifted. They will feel such a sense of relief, and they'll be able to collapse in a heap, which is what I feel like a lot of them want to do. That exhaustion, that massive worry, that stress, that solar plexus energy, this possible issues with communication, like they just can't get their words out, they can't sleep, they can't, there could be, it seems like one disaster after another kind of energy, and it's because they keep making pacts with the devil, therefore they have to go round in another cycle. But this is a big ass cycle because this is the world. I mean, she's the largest loop cycle. She's the long count, man. Therefore, whatever's happening here is like a critical mass, because this person is on the cusp of breaking a major, major behavior. Because they need to heal. They really, really need to heal. They need to change because they literally can't go on this way, caught up in this obsessional, toxic, either relationship situation, issues with substances, just they feel completely powerless, but they're not. That's the devil. That's the devil's trick. But they feel completely powerless, so they may act like victims and they expect everybody else to carry the load. A lot of them expect a huge amount of effort from other people, but it's never good enough, right? Bad is called good when worse happens. Because they haven't had to do it themselves, and Spirit's going to make this person do it themselves. So they might see that this is coming up. They might be seeing that there is a closure in the offing here, and that is panic stations potentially for this person. It could be really triggering this individual because it makes them feel like there's nothing that they can do about the closing down of this cycle. Now, it could be you that's deciding to close down on this person, or it could be them deciding, possibly with somebody else here. But I think most of you are actually separate to this situation. That might not be the case with all of you, but I do feel like there's kind of protective field around you. Look, she's in the laurel wreath. That's like a victorious card. It's a very different flavor to the devil, and I'm just feeling like there is spiritual protection there. The angels really stepping out to me. The Aquarius energy is really stepping out, and that says to me like uniqueness and following your own very specific personality pathway, that kind of thing. So I am feeling that there may be a separation, and you're just observing this energy maybe from a distance, like looking in and being like, I don't really want to get involved in that. And which is fair enough. Maybe these are colleagues that you have to work with, or, friends that are fighting or something. But I do feel like it involves more than one person. And I do feel like you somehow are protected from this energy, and you may just be observing it from afar. You'd rather not engage because politeness pleases even a cat. You'd rather be in a space that's chilled out. You're quite wary of this person and their behavior, which I feel is completely understandable. Maybe you've had to do some healing from this person and the destruction maybe that they've caused with you, and it's closed a cycle. But that's what's happening to this person. They are facing, it's like a closure, I think. And I think closure is just a major fear factor for this person. That's what it feels like. Yeah, they keep themselves in this mindset, but they don't have the capacity to pretend for much longer. There's a lot of fronting with the devil, a lot of mask wearing, a lot of like pretending things are tickety-boo when they're not. Looking like you're king of the world or queen of the world, and actually underneath there's this huge, excessive, stressful, negative entrapment, and it's pushing down on independent spirit and self-worth. This person, it needs to break. Yeah, the universe is going to break this situation, kind of like a seed, so that this person can shift into a new cycle. It's kind of ready and kind of ordained, but the way that they're behaving at the moment could be excessively devilish, excessively crap. So if you're not in contact with this person, this is probably not the best time to approach this individual. If you are in contact with this person, then you already know that you need distance here and self-respect. If you're in a relationship with this person and is in this toxic space, it's down to you to take that Ace of Swords energy, that truth, and cut yourself free from this situation, because it's very likely that this person has woefully underestimated, taken advantage of, kindnesses here, or somebody doing a lot of work, taking on all of the work, all of the spiritual work, or all of the emotional work, or all of the physical work here as well in this situation. And at the root of it, this person just doesn't like themselves. They think they stink, which is so sad, but it's true. And that's another trick of the devil, right? You're crap, therefore don't try. If you don't try, then you can't fail, and you can't. If you don't close things down, then you know, they'll never end, and you always have it as an option. But God, it's such messy energy. It's such messy energy, and they just don't, they're just kind of rejecting the healing at the moment. The skunk's got his ass up to Pachamama. It's like, I'd be wary if I were her, but you know, you can't screw with the universal forces. I really do feel like this person is behaving this way because they feel the turn. They feel the change is shifting. They can feel it. They can feel it coming, that there's a big closure energy, a big chapter closing. They might already know about it and they don't want to see it. So they may be behaving like it, just not well at all. Not well at all. And it's all fear. It's all fear and lack of self-belief, which is, you know, the devil's MO. He makes you believe you're codependent on something, and that's where the addiction energy springs from with the devil, that you need it, that you can't survive without it, that somehow you're deficient without the energy that someone else can provide, or a situation, or could be a job or whatever, substance. And that feeds into itself. It creates very dark energy. And this is very destructive and kind of impactful. This person may be very tactless. Politeness pleases a cat. They may have no tact at all. Brick through a plate glass window kind of feeling. And, you know, they're dropping the wrecking ball on their own independence, though, by being stuck in their head. They need psychological help here, because this devil is a psychological one. It's a mental entrapment. And it's a fear of closure. It's a fear of conclusion. So yeah, anyway, I really hope that helped. And if it did, please like and subscribe and share. They will be doing some healing. That's possibly a safer time to approach this person, but it's not yet. So give it time, give them space. Anyway, thanks, and I'll catch you soon. Bye. Hello, Stack 2, and welcome. So, why does this person behave this way? This is an interesting one, for sure. We've got up here the 7 of Cups, then we've got the 7 of Coins, so there's 2 sevens there. And then, what's this is 10 of Cups, no, 9. I'm not very good at counting Roman numerals, sorry. Then we've got a German proverb that says, many lose when they win and others win when they lose. And there's chess pieces on that. And the abysmal from the Tao Oracle says, danger, insecurity, overwhelm, unpredictability, hazardous conditions, dark emotions, facing fear and courage. And then we've got, it takes 2 blows to make a battle, which is an English proverb. And then at the bottom, mouse spirit. And I'm getting a lot of like diminished energy of this card, like a lot of energy coming off this card for me. And then dear spirit, bring a gentle touch. And then Artemis, and she represents selfhood. Now, 7s, this person is at a point of transitional change, and they're going through the process of it, and the universe is messaging this person. Like 7s for me about messages from the universal forces. I really feel that they might be seeing and getting signs and signals from the universe. This person is spiritually being called or signaled to deal with stuff at the moment. They've been really confused in the past here, and my strong feeling is that they've been screwed with on a mental level by other people, or they've become very confused by game playing. Maybe they've participated. I mean, chess does take 2 to play chess, doesn't it? But they've lost, is my feeling. And they've been having to recognize the loss as a win, But it's been very confusing for this person in the past to work out on a mental level what went wrong here, why things went wrong, because it plummeted them, I'm feeling, into really emotional, heavy, like vulnerable space. This person does feel that they have a lot of vulnerability still in their auric field for me. And look at the way Artemis is holding her bow and arrow towards this deer. This person does feel in jeopardy. They feel, I think this person feels like that they're a failure, or that they're very scared of failure, or that, yeah, there's this, they failed in something. They have failed in the past. And there was a lot of emotional content involved in this failure. And there's, look, 7 chess pieces, 7s. This person is really being stepped into their divine nature by way of losing in the past, is what I'm feeling. And it's really knocked their confidence. It's rendered them feeling very bare, very small, very insignificant, very... unhappy is my vibe. Tend to the small things. It may have been really difficult for this person to just like focus on little things to get themselves out of what felt like a very overwhelming emotional situation here, and that whatever it is that's gone down is still carrying with this person. For some of these people, they've been traumatized in the past, is my strong vibe on this. For some of them, this goes back to like childhood, where they may have been punished for really small things, but not being given guidance on the bigger things, on the larger things. So they're kind of used to being diminished. Well, they were. I think that they have kind of come out of like the worst part of maybe a cycle that was very diminishing for this person, and they're having to be very gentle with themselves here, dear spirit. This person needs kid gloves. This person needs, if you're feeling combative towards this person, you need to step out and take care of yourself and your selfhood with this individual, because there may be some desire to cause conflict here, or to participate in conflict, and it's because they may have quite an oscillating behavior in the past. There may be fight or flight is what I'm hearing. With this boxing glove and this deer, I'm hearing fight or flight. I think some of these people could have struggled with a trauma that left them maybe with PTSD. And I am also feeling like it left them feeling shaky. They could shake, like their muscles could shake if they're stressed, or there's some kind of impact on coordination. Or yeah, just because I think they felt just quite hammered by this situation. And they're feeling more philosophical about it now. I don't think they're in that space quite to the same degree they were. You know, they're trying to see the positives, and I am feeling that they are gaining more clarity, because the 7 of Cups shows like a fog. It's foggy, and then there's some kind of shaft of sunlight that's coming through, which is showing them that the spiritual pathway, because one of these cups always represents spirit, and the others are like variety of options. Where shall I go? What shall I do? What shall I invest my time into? I feel like there was a lot of people maybe involved telling them what they should do and where they should go. And this person may have felt very influenced by other people, and who all have maybe had an opinion on their life in the past. It's left them shell-shocked, is what I'm hearing. Spirit's actually giving me the word shell-shocked. again, I'm seeing that sort of trembling energy. This person is very afraid of feeling in danger. They are having to muster a lot of courage to confront their fears, and they are doing it because there's a movement with the energy, like moving into the future here. I feel like this person needs to stand up for themselves, or has been learning to stand up for themselves, or learning to confront their fear. They want to overcome this sense of feeling vulnerable, and also having enough courage to really put this energy behind them. But at the moment, they may be feeling a little bit shaky, or that things are a little bit unpredictable. They may have waited for a long time for this to pass, but I'm feeling that there's a kind of surrendering that needs to happen with this person, where they step back from being involved in any sort of conflict space, and they really show themselves some TLC here. Like, this is about self-care and self-love. So if this person is erratic in their behavior, and they may be combative and then like run, it's because there is deep emotional trauma, or an emotionally deeply confusing situation they could have been screwed with on a mental level, like emotionally manipulated for some of these people in the past, and that's made them super wary. They're super wary. They're a bit flighty. They're super wary of dangerous situation, dangerous conditions, because they still don't feel like quite strong enough yet, or to move through. They're in the process though. They might be really worried at this point about finance, or some kind of stable energy with the coins up here. They might be worried about their house or their home or their living situation. Something that affects them practically. It could be work as well. They could have put in a lot of effort. But I think that they were confused about why they're putting in effort. And again, I think that it relates to some kind of imprinted trauma. But they feel like a failure a little bit. This person does need to be treated very sensitively if you do engage with them, because they're at a point where they're confronting their fears, and they're trying to be courageous, and they could very easily be sort of tipped off balance here if you're too forceful with them, or I really feel like this person in particular has been bullied at some time in the past, maybe as a child, maybe later in their life, but I really feel they've taken the blows, taken the punches. This could be literal. This could be physically, literally as well. And that could have very much confused them as to their emotional content, and what they should put effort into and what they shouldn't put effort into, and who they should put effort into and who they shouldn't put effort into. I do feel like there's a lot of people in this person's past that have tried to make them be a certain way, or act a certain way, or tried to influence their decisions about who they were. And this person, like I say, is far more philosophical about it. But they may want to get themselves stronger in order to break free from these dark emotions, break out of this danger zone. But they are quite afraid of standing on their own 2 feet. Which is ironic, because this person may come across as pretty damn independent. They may come across as almost too independent or fiercely independent, because they're protecting. She's the protectress, Artemis of the moon. Huntress. Look at all the animals at her back. By rights, they should be behind her, right? Protecting in a healthy way. But this person doesn't quite know how to protect themselves from other people's very powerful or sucker punch energy, or it can really impact them in the heart space. And I feel that they're afraid of being too independent, because they're looking for more. They desire to engage, but at the same time, I think that there's a strong codependency that they try and fight. There's codependency that they try and fight, or they fight the weaker aspects of themselves. They don't want the weaker aspects to be perceived by external parties, because they feel like they've been taken advantage of, and they have been in the past. They have been, because there is quite a purity around this person with this beautiful deer energy here. They're a mixture of really gentle and really bold, I would say. But their independence is, they've had to be independent because they've had it's been an unfair fight, is what I'm hearing. And things have come out of the blue, and they may feel like loss is part of their world. So they may expect to lose or expect conflict. But they have a desire to level that out. They have a desire with this, the 9 of Cups, to engage their own sense of being overwhelmed and stand up to it and be able to shoot it down, really, to be able to, put it behind them. They want to put something behind them. But there may be unfinished business here where they have to stand on their own 2 feet first and confront something or someone to really step into their empowerment. This person is flighty, doesn't like conflict, but which is ironic because they may seem to fare well in that situation, or they may be used to it, but they don't want to keep feeling like they're losing because others win when they lose. Like they are trying to convert their past experiences into leveling themselves up, but at the moment they may feel like that's really tough, or it's a failure, or they may be very emotional with all this water energy like rushing through here, especially in the heart space here, especially in the heart of this reading. They've put a lot of time into working through coming out of this really overwhelming situation. And they're still not quite repaired. is what I'm feeling. Yeah, there's healing that needs to come in the form of autonomy, in the form of being able to stand up for themselves in the right way, and to say, like, I'm done with maybe other people's input trying to make me feel that I'm in danger. And they may well feel that at the moment that they're on really shaky ground when it comes to their physical resource. And I'm seeing like kind of a landslide kind of flavor, like, and a flooding energy at the heart of this as well. Like, this, whatever collapsed in the past, I feel like it collapsed suddenly, and this person is in that state of shock still. They may still be in a state of shock, but they want to feel better and they want to feel fighting fit is what I'm feeling from this. And yeah, more active. They want to feel better in the body and repair and heal and feel less insecure. There is healing that needs to be done around the center part of the body with this person. So yeah, they may behave optimistically to the outside world, but there's a lot of confusion and a lot of waiting and a lot of change occurring on the inner layer with this person, and they feel that their situation is really not good right now with the abysmal, and they may be dealing with somebody who's very contentious and is reducing their energy. It's panicky. There's a definite panicky flavour about this for me. And confusion. They don't know how to play this situation. They don't really know how to engage their brain in this because there's a lot of emotional content here. It's kind of overwhelming emotional content. And so they're not quite sure how to go about fixing or resolving or dealing with something in the past that means that they get like fair treatment or equal footing. And it may be that that's over already, but they still need to do that on an emotional level and psychological level. They want to feel like somebody to be contended with here. And I feel like this takes two blows to make a battle. And I'm feeling like this could be with an ex-relationship that was really brutal, or that they were the one that took all the punches and they kind of want to punch back, or for some of you, this is actually all about you and not about them, which is what my guide is saying as well here. He's showing me a mirror as well. There's like strong mirroring energy for me in this particular stack. So this could be a mirror of something that you've gone through, or you've both gone through this kind of situation with different people, or maybe you've gone through it with this person, or I do feel like it predates your relationship with this individual, whoever they are. I feel like this goes back, and it might go back for both of you. And I do feel that maybe you are leveling up and becoming, very strong in your independence, and knowing where your boundaries are and knowing what you will accept and what you won't accept, and what you will react to and what you won't react to. I feel like one of you's further on in this, and I think it's you. And I feel that this person is catching up with you. you are familiar with this space, is my feeling. And they're kind of confronting possibly like strong fears around resources and money, work, home, and health here as well. Health. This person could have taken a real, like I say, a real hit, it could have impacted their health, whatever they've been through. So there's still a recovery from that, because I do feel like this kind of the sinuous energy in Artemis here, and like the desire to get back to aim for what they want. And in fact, they're aiming for the things that they want, like quite single-mindedly, quite selfishly maybe, is actually really required here. They need to pull back, or as my guide always says, sacred steel the energy back from parties that have made them feel like lesser, insignificant. They could have been in a state of depression. They could still be trying to wrestle out of that. Yeah. This person's overprotective of their space is my vibe. And they're overprotective because of what's gone down in the past. So they just need to feel more secure. They need to get out of this feeling of being in danger or jeopardy. There could well be panic attacks here. Like there could well be like sudden attacks of fear, requiring an enormous amount of courage for this person to kind of fight through to get to the other side. But they're on their way. They want equality is what I'm feeling. They've met a worthy opponent and somebody who really just took them out though. And it's a kind of you win some, you lose some. That sounds like really superficial when you're dealing with the depth of emotion, but it is true. Many lose when they win, others win when they lose. It's how do you face that situation? Is it really a loss when you start to step into your own self-love and your strength, your own capability? It's not really a loss. It's a way that spirit has elevated this person, because there's quite a lot of strong transformational spiritual energy here. Okay, I think that's all I've got for you. If it resonated, please do like and subscribe and share. Thanks so much. Bye. Hello, Stack 3, and welcome. So, why does this person behave this way? At the top here, we've got Judgment in reverse. We've got the 8 of Wands. And we've got the 4 of Coins. Underneath, we have a proverb that says, a used key is always bright. And that's an English proverb. Then we've got Retreat from the Tao Oracle deck. A timely departure, letting go, withdrawal, reevaluation, retirement. And don't hesitate to walk away. And then Luck and Bad Luck drive the same sled, which is a Russian proverb. Underneath, we have the Dolphin spirit that says this and that are true. The Stag spirit that says take the lead. And Uzume, I think that's how you pronounce it, which means laughter in this deck. So, I feel like in the past, this person, on reflection, is feeling that they've made some really or one major or a few poor judgments, because this judgment is reversed here. And it may have been that in the past they really did not want to see the truth of a situation. They didn't want to look at it. They didn't want to evaluate their role in it. They just didn't want to look at it, because I'm feeling that it was quite painful. Something's gone down involving not just one person, but I feel like more than one. It could be 2 or 3 people. And I feel like this person could have felt really slandered or really misunderstood or have been gossiped about, or I'm not feeling like the things that were said about this person were wholly true. to be completely honest. Like, there is a sense of this individual being completely buried. And I say that because Judgment's upside down, and I can't help but see all of this earth coming from the bottom of this card and falling into this angel's trumpet. So I feel like their ability to express themselves was completely buried. It was pushed under by other people, or a significant situation or a significant event. This, for some people here, but for very few people here, this is a court case that really didn't go in their favour, or a ruling that was incredibly unfair, is what I'm picking up here. Spirit is saying it's just plain wrong. That's what I'm hearing, that it was just plain wrong. So in the past, there was a lot of possible gossip around this individual. Again, a lot of it just plain wrong is what I'm hearing. And they may have been trying to resurrect themselves already, or resurrect a situation. That's what Judgment tends to indicate for me. For me, it also indicates like a strong connective space, like a strong spiritual connection maybe to a person or a group of individuals, that upside down feels like this person is perceiving from where they are now that this was not an accurate assessment of what they felt. There is strong feeling here, and they do need to look at the truth of the situation. And for me, Judgment is a lot about truth. And the key for me in multiple decks, including the Lenormand, implies a sense of finding an answer or a revelation, unlocking information, unlocking an understanding. Now, Spirit is saying that this person kind of needed to be buried, and I'm hearing 6 foot under as well. So whatever this person's gone through, it was no small deal. In order to find the inner key, in order to find it. And the reason that they kind of had to be buried was that the Spirit was sending them messages about the truth, but they weren't hearing it. They weren't perceiving it. And their judgments might have been rapid or not very well thought out, or, there was some kind of unfairness, however, regardless of that, regarding the way that this person was judged by others. Judgment, they've given themselves a lot of crap since then, in terms of their inner critic. They have been hypercritical of themselves for some time, I feel, in terms of the decisions that they've made, because it really did bury them 6 foot under. And I'm seeing somebody like in a coffin, like in Uma Thurman's, like in Tarantino's, oh God, what's it called? I know you're shouting it. I can almost hear you shouting it. Kill Bill, thank you. Where she's trying to get out of the coffin, and it's really, really, really hard. So I am feeling like Spirit's saying that that's quite a good allegory, that film, because she did not deserve what she got. And then she felt really vengeful. So this person might feel some kind of way still about what happened to them in the past. With this particular individual. I feel I can see them almost like under a whole heap of earth, trying to find this key, trying to find the key to getting out of this situation, or like in some kind of underworld chamber, or trying to release themselves. And I feel like this person's got like pretty good intuition, like pretty powerful intuition, but they weren't using it. They weren't using it to make decisions as much as they could have done. And they've looked back at this situation and they may have thought, oh my God, I I can't believe I made the decisions that I did, or but it's kind of part of the learning process is also what I'm feeling with this person. Some of them may have been incarcerated briefly, or being literally kind of trapped in a situation and felt like that they couldn't get out of this. And this could have been internal for a lot of them as well, like locked in this very possible depressional state, unable to kind of resurrect themselves or their energy, or get through or get over the lack of ability to express their truth, or not being heard, their truth not being heard or valued by the people that they were dealing with, or the group of people around them. This person wanted to be part of something, felt very much that they'd found a space. I feel that there was kind of reflective of them, and they thought, this could be the answer, is what I feel. This could be the answer, but it turned out to be completely not the answer. It was the opposite to the answer. It was something that triggered possible karma as well here. I do pick up karma sometimes with judgment. I am picking up for some of these people that it was possible karma. But if it was karma, it's like past life related karma. It doesn't relate to now or this lifetime, because this person could not work out what they'd done wrong to face such a wall of judgment or persecution or criticism or gossip, or they've been very, very misunderstood, misrepresented is my feeling, or that's how they felt for sure. And they didn't use this used key that is always bright. I'm seeing that the key that they found was like out of use. It was their key. They did have the answers, but it was kind of out of use. So what I'm feeling for this person is that they had to unlock a different perception of truth in general with this dolphin spirit. So this person has learned that assessing things in terms of, well, this was wrong, even though Spirit's like, it's perfectly acceptable for this person to say this was wrong, because it was wrong. But what Spirit's also saying is that there are layers to truth. There are multiple layers. So, for example, if somebody lies to you, the real truth of that lie is that they're uncomfortable with being authentic enough to be honest. So their truth is, your truth on them is that there's a discomfort in their authenticity. So that's like a layered truth. So you're perceiving a larger truth. You're not just saying it's wrong to lie and you shouldn't have lied. You're saying, okay, I appreciate that this person has lied, but I appreciate this person has lied because of. So maybe for some of you, this person has lied to you. Who knows? However, I feel like this person has now come to the understanding that their version of truth is not everyone's version of truth, and that it's more important to be in alignment with their version of truth than with other people's version or their other people's perception on them as an individual. So there's layers. There's layers to this truthful energy, which I feel that they've been unlocking as they've been unearthing and coming back to the light, if you see what I mean. This person is now at a stage in their journey where they are communicating and possibly at speed as well, the need to withdraw, the need to retreat. So they're communicating a need to let go. Now, for some of these individuals, they're letting go of a responsibility of being in a leadership position. That's not for all of them though, because for most of them, what I'm feeling here is that they are retreating in order to take the lead on their own life. And we've got this beautiful stag spirit up here. I just love this card. Isn't it gorgeous? So it might be perceived by others that their communicating a retreat is wrong, is not the right answer, that other people might feel that they're not understood by this person because this person has chosen or is currently choosing to withdraw. So the communication might be ebbing away. If there is any with this person, it may be ebbing away. They're reevaluating. They need some space to just think and consider and walk away from constantly trying to find out what's gone down, the truth, the real truth, that one truth that they don't know about. And they may have to be philosophical because they can't wrap their head around why this has happened. And they may have spent some time trying to work that out, some time going back and forth, this and that are true, back, forth, trying to find this kind of the holy grail of what is right, what is true for them in this situation. But they may have decided at this point in time that they just need to kind of withdraw slightly from that and just walk away in order to find in them an inner desire to lead forward from whatever's happened, to leave this in the past, this situation where they felt buried. And they may have decided that suddenly, and other people might think that that's a really poor judgment on their behalf. And they may actually be communicating in a very critical manner if they're communicating at all. But Spirit is saying, but it's actually part of their process because this person feels like they wasted a huge amount of time in this situation. This is like a purgatorial energy. So they may have felt that this was an interminable amount of time that they had to go through this, trying to release and unlock possible, joy, laughter, and easygoing energy, because it feels so heavy over here and it is getting lighter energetically on this side of the reading. So this is the mid process for that. This person may have been a bit flippant about their responsibilities or been hesitant to take the lead in terms of their departure. They may have really, really struggled to withdraw. But with these two cards together, it was a necessary action. It's a necessary action for this person to kind of have gone inwards or to be going inwards. I think that they may have spent some time inwards in this really difficult space, like an underworld journey where they like emerging. And there is need for recuperation here. There is need for peace. Peace and a decision, possibly a strong decision, to communicate their departure, to communicate that they're leaving or walking away from a situation, or possibly moving location as well here with this Four of Coins up here, which for me is always about like the building blocks of stability. It could also mean holding on to things. So they maybe have held on to like this past situation where the communication was just unfair, is what I'm thinking, or untrue, or slanderous, or other people have evaded seeing the truth, their truth, and like inner truth. So this person may have held on to communicating for too long, but within a critical headspace, within the overly critical headspace. They need time to evaluate their own truth. They need time to recognize the layers within truth in order to let go. And they are letting go. They're letting go so of this past judgment that has gone down. I think they're going to be looking for some kind of stability coming up. They're possibly, this is to do with, you know, house, home, job, money, security. So this person may feel not very secure or a little bit insecure at the moment, but knows that focusing on that is actually going to help them let go of what's gone down in the past, which I feel was really mentally enormously challenging, and I'm feeling very emotional for this person as well. And they're developing a different philosophy. They're being quite philosophical about this. Luck and bad luck drive the same sled. So in a sense, I'm feeling that they're like, well, you know, it was great and then it wasn't, and then, but this person may still be trying to stay on the surface of things at this point in time in order to decide what they want in terms of their stability later down the track. So at the moment, they may be in a position, or they're coming into a position where they're just trying to reconnect with their joy and with being able to kind of take risks, I suppose. Let go of fearing that not taking a risk is, let go of fearing taking risks. I feel like this person is naturally quite buoyant, naturally quite funny, but they don't feel the need to be center of attention at this point. Like there's that retreat energy. They feel withdrawn. If they are, you know, joyful, I think it's kind of hiding the fact that they're still processing quite a lot, and they may need quite a lot of time on their own to just kind of work things out for themselves and reevaluate where they are, because they do want to connect with that feeling of being lucky, of being happy, and of feeling stable. But they are fearful and insecure that things could turn, their luck could turn. And it's because this situation happened in the past that was like out of the blue. Or it kind of wasn't, but they just didn't expect it to be such a colossal situation. And therefore, they've really kind of lost their nerve a bit about taking risks or having fun, but they're trying to step into a space where they feel more stable, more comfortable to perceive things positively or philosophically. They understand that they can't kind of fly by the seat of their pants. They need to put the foundation stones in place. There's the four corners of the building, if you like, and they need to decide what those stones represent. So whether they're trust or loyalty or whatever really, like the long-term ethics of things. And in order to do that, they can't just go by luck. They've got to do some planning. But they do need to have an interim where they kind of hold on to what they've got and just kind of stay still in order to reconnect with feeling more carefree. The energy that's trying to come in for them is trying to reward them for taking the lead, because they need to be able to say, okay, I need to communicate that I'm walking away, I'm letting go, and that's part of their leadership. And Spirit is really saying to them that this is essential. So if you're judging this person for doing it, please don't, because this is something that needs to happen. It is timely. There's divine timing in this and at work. And they they may feel that they've wasted a lot of time not taking the lead or believing things that weren't true. And they now want to stand kind of in the middle. This and that are true. Luck and bad luck drive the same sled. It's like a balancing act. It's like a weighing up of things here. And they want to be quite neutral is my vibe. They want to be able to, because from a neutral space, they have a better understanding and taking their time as well here. Time is important in this reading for me. Taking their time to assess if something is a positive road or if it's a negative road. And they may be, like I say, they may be withdrawn and a little bit scared about doing that. And they may not have given themselves or be giving themselves enough rest by enough positive energy. But Spirit is saying that they're gradually trying to help this person release on their insecurities because their stability energy possibly has been really knocked in the past here. Yeah, I mean, for very few, this could be you leaving this situation, you communicating that, and them trying to hold on to this space. But I don't think so. I think for most of them, this is them breaking free from a really feels like a weighted or difficult situation that prevented them from seeing their own shine. They're seeing their own light. The key is shiny, but what I'm seeing is that when it was buried, it's like not at all dulled is what I'm getting from that. And they felt dull, I think. They felt heavy and dull and weighted and depressed and really persecuted by other people's decisions or maybe legal decisions or just group consensus for some people here. Trying to be possibly a little bit too open-minded to other people's perception of what they should do and how they should go about their life. But now they withdrawing from this energy, there's still a residual here. So this person could still be like quite critical or seem quite frivolous, but actually there's quite a lot of depth going on under this. They are perceiving that they need to withdraw from a situation because they are tired of being somewhere in the middle, being in like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. With this and that are true. They're trying to work out, I think, what the answer is, or work out how to let this lie or get through this, to release on it because it was heavy. But they've kind of hit the light. They've come out of the worst of this for sure. But so now's the time where the energy starts suggesting to them that they need to decide for themselves what's relevant to them and not base it on other people's opinions. And it is down to security and feeling and insecurity and underlying insecurity, which has them cling on to like communicating or cling on to a critical mindset, a really self-critical mindset, which is not healthy. So they need to release on maybe what they perceive to be their own poor judgment, but also like really unfair judgment or criticism from others as well. So they're going to be moving into a space where they're far more philosophical about it. And this is covered in snow. And maybe by winter, there is going to be some kind of breakthrough in this situation. And they're going to feel connected again to the laughter energy, to the joy. They are actively seeking an easygoing space where they can chill out and laugh and have some fun and not really have to make a decision between this one energy and the other energy here. So what they have now is a space where they're going to be working on their stability. And this person will come around into a more positive approach, for sure. They're going to be more philosophical. They're going to be less afraid of taking risks. But I feel that the thing that they need to do is make sure that they put a lot of time and effort into planning what they do want to do in terms of their house, their money, their domestic setup, for example, or their practical energy, so that they don't treat it frivolously or are back and forward with it. It may be that this person like struggles with that kind of decision. All right, I think that's all I've got for you, Stack 3. I really hope it resonated. And if it did, please like and subscribe and share. And thanks so much for listening. Bye. Hello, Stack 4, and welcome. So, why did your person behave this way? Up here we have the 5 of Coins, followed by the Magician, followed by Death. 2 major arcana cards, sizable cards at the top here. And we've got the sweeter the perfume, the more the flies gather, from China. Oh, and it flew away. Right. Youthful folly in the middle, impulsiveness, immaturity, bluffing, ignorance, learning, impatience, reckless behavior. And then a hug a day keeps the demons at bay, which is a proverb from Germany. We've got the whale spirit down here, the dove spirit, and Shakti. The whale spirit says trust in the great mystery. The dove says be peace. And Shakti says energy. I am actually picking up 2 groups with this particular reading. I'm picking up one group that is transforming and actively trying to manifest a transformation and an ending to feeling out in the cold or feeling lesser, insignificant, rejected. And I am picking up another group that can't see that there is a death energy in the offing. Something is about to end because they are fixated on the past. Here, the Magician is looking at the 5 of Coins. Now, no magician in his right mind would want to manifest the 5 of Coins, which is feeling left out in the cold, feeling rejected, feeling abandoned. So this magician could be caught in a situation where they're stuck in the past with this feeling of unworthiness, with this fear of being rejected, which therefore manifests more rejection. And therefore, for that group where they don't see it, there's going to be an ending. Somebody's going to end something with this person. So under here, the sweeter the perfume, the more the flies gather, youthful folly, impulsiveness, immaturity, bluffing, ignorance, learning, impatience, and reckless behavior. I feel that this person like manifests a mask of bluffing, like that fronting energy, that trying to impress. They do want attention, this individual. They want attention. And they're kind of a bit desperate about that, a bit desperate, like desperate for respect. And the sweeter the perfume, the more the flies gather. I feel that they could be easily drawn to material things or superficial things, physically, particularly here with the coins. They're coming from a sense of not feeling as worthy, or they're like comparing themselves and not feeling great. Or they may feel that there's competition here, and they struggle with competition the more the flies gather. There's such a sense of kind of poverty and neglect though in this person's like past, and this kind of corrupted energy. And you know, the Four of Coins is neglected anyway, and then there's flies around it. It's like, ew. It's a bit ew. And they might be looking back at something in the past here and thinking, ew. And some of them are kicking themselves for their own immaturity, their own recklessness. But this person, like, is manifesting still an immaturity, is manifesting like a bluffing energy. They're quite impulsive here. And there could be an ingrained fear that they get caught in this loop. They could also claim to be a lot more knowledgeable than they are, or they've got it together, but really, like, they're feeling, you know, it's kind of doomed to fall apart, or at least on the inside, there's a strong vulnerability here. But this person does have, like, hugely powerful shamanic energy, is what I would say here. They could be early on this journey, or they could be young. It says youthful folly. They could be young, but even if they're not, they're kind of early on the journey anyway. They have immense capability, and they may even present themselves as having immense capability. There's a fair bit of fucking arrogance here, I'll be honest. There's a fair bit. That bluffing energy with the magician is just like, yeah, it's one of those roll up kind of cards. And it's because they have this desire for admiration, for respect, for attention. And they know that they have immense capability. I think that they know they have a tremendous amount of potential, but they could well be, like, overly intellectual, which is ignorant when it comes to spiritual matters. Yeah, they want to do things at speed or get things moving at speed. And this is a problem. This impatience can cause a lot of discord with this person, because the dove spirit says be peace. So I really feel like spirit's trying to encourage this person to be at peace with themselves. I feel like they want to wipe the slate clean of, like, near disasters. And I'm hearing the music from the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah, it's like this person, like, wants to skip the chores and then use magic to, you know, do all the chores for them. Then they fall asleep and then it all goes mad. And so there's this kind of, they neglect their own attention to detail, their own attention to the task. They might act like they really don't care that much, but they have the capability of being extremely efficient, well balanced, but they don't feel it at the moment. They're not feeling balanced. This person may use self-pity, or, you know, being pitiable, feeling sorry for themselves, or even claiming naivety in order to get people to do things for them, or perform tasks for them, or, you know, offer them assistance. But they need to foster appreciation, is what I'm hearing. Spirit is saying this person, it needs to foster appreciation. And they are being challenged by Spirit at the moment, is my vibe on this. Spirit is throwing down the gauntlet to this person in some way, shape or form, and saying, okay, you are the magician. You can see your own immaturity. You can see your own reckless behavior. Are you going to manifest the transformation, or do we have to thrust this energy upon you, which will be a fall from grace into yeah, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, where an admonishment and being told to, yeah, being, you know, slapped back down by the universe almost. This person could come across as very arrogant, and it's because they're immature. It's because they're trying to prove something to themselves and to others, and the recklessness of their actions as well. It's like this person doesn't want to, they want to take credit for capability, but they don't want to put in the time to master those 4 tools on the magician's table. But Spirit is saying this person has this capability. They are naturally shaman. They are naturally manifester. They just don't know really how to use that skill yet. That doesn't create this feeling of being, you know, of terror of being left out. Like fear of missing out is huge, huge here, I'd say. I really don't want to miss out, these people. And it kind of gets them trapped in the past, though. They get stuck, maybe, like the fly in the web, they get stuck. And Spirit is saying with the whale spirit, they need to dive. They need to dive deeper into their own intuition. It says, trust in the great mystery. And into the receptive energy, into the sacred feminine force is what I'm feeling here. That it's primordial almost, this sacred expansion of potential. It's like this person wants to work things out and wants to be fairly rebellious, I think, like to prove their capability. But they'll end up just proving, like the Sorcerer's Apprentice, immaturity and lack of experience if they don't acknowledge that when it comes to this level of connectedness to spirit, because the magician is the archetypal communicator associated with Mercury, the god of communication, a trade, speech, language. You know, he was a god and he was the messenger of the god. So this person has access to spirit. They have access. Whether they want to listen or not, youthful folly, is up to them. But if they can hear it as clearly as I sense that they can hear, they need to be the ones who are actively manifesting the transformation and therefore letting go or shedding a past energy which they no longer need. It needs to transform. It needs to be cut away. It needs to be harvested is what I want to say, and then made into, I'm seeing bread and grain here. So the transformation of taking the grain, getting rid of the wheat, like keeping the wheat, getting rid of the chaff, making something different and that is more assimilated, that is more together, synthesized is what I want to say in their life. This person's got quite disparate energy. They may have used, like I say, a victim mentality approach to get what they want and to get others to do their bidding. And there's quite a lot of charm capability with magicians. So there's like snake oil there, kind of selling the snake oil for me. You know, saying the right things, but maybe just their actions belie like an immaturity here. They sense their own power and they're not quite sure how to direct it, is my feeling on this. They know that they're powerful. They know that they have a connection with spirit, but they are young in their journey and they're not sure how to use it. They've got a sense of poverty, I feel, within their soul that makes them feel lesser. So there may be some desire to compete. This person may have a desire to compete, and that arrogance, and it might not come to anything because of this youthful folly down here. It might be short-lived. Is they being able to convince others might be short-lived because they have this. They are thinking about this rejection in the past. They are thinking about feeling either left out or abandoned, or and self wallowing, a pity party. It's like, this person is complicated though. There are really different energy streams here. The shamanic energy is really powerful here. They need depth though. They do need to slow down and consider from a space of intellectualizing, like put that on hold, hang it up, and kind of trust into their intuition and their faith. And then maybe this situation of feeling neglected and treated like shit, maybe, and or them doing this within their environment with others. And if they have, then other people are about to kind of cut them off. And this may be a cycle that they don't appreciate enough of their situation. Or themselves enough to elevate and to trust their intuition. There's a desire to keep stepping back into a space that is not healthy. Is not healthy. And then, again, it's this superficiality. There's a very big difference between a fly and a whale. And the superficiality of the fly is really standing out. And this person can't fail to see, though, their own recklessness. They can't fail to see it. They are seeing it. Some of them really don't want to and are ignoring the hints from spirit. Others are seeing it and taking the hints from spirit. They feel very insecure to me. The material world is kind of ruling the proceedings, and maybe that's important for them to kind of feel like they've hit this self-mastery. They are trying to self-master. I feel that they've come from maybe a space of poverty. Maybe they grew up in that environment, or they have recently felt very defined by a lack of things rather than what they do have. And like I say, this person could be quite glass half empty at times, but they use it to manipulate people so that they can be less or be lazy, maybe, or just less engaged, or takes the center spotlight, but without doing the work. It's like they want to show themselves as a magnificent swan, but then under the water there's these teeny tiny feet which won't get them anywhere. It's like, it's all a lot about status, a lot about show with this individual, I've got to say. This fear of being left behind, this like FOMO, fear of missing out, is huge. And I think they rush into things. They are a bit of a speed demon, and they might bluff their way into things, and they need to slow down. But it's to do with the inner child or the inner teenager, I want to say, with this person. Yeah, this is fronting and swaggering kind of, showy-offy energy about this. And Spirit's just given me a very funny allegory, which I can't repeat. But sorry, I'm so sorry. That's really annoying. but yeah, it's personal. But anyway. So this person may be compensating, is what I want to say, for where they feel that are not as impressive as others. There's a lot of comparative energy. There's a lot of comparative energy up here. Now, this death is interesting because I feel like there's a transformation coming up for this individual. And this transformation is to do with intimacy. A hug a day keeps the demons at bay. So whether they're going to lose something, they're going to manifest it, they're manifesting an ending, whether they're aware of it or not, whether they want to see it or not. They're manifesting an ending, a turnaround, a wiping clean, and they are going to appreciate kindnesses, friendship, familiarity, solidarity, any comfort. So what they're letting go of is harvesting comfort. And I'm seeing the bread again. I'm really feeling like quite good energy off this death card. It depends, I suppose. It depends. Okay. It depends whether this person chooses to change their behavior and go for the self-mastery, acknowledge their ignorance, and therefore take up the learning element of this card, or whether they choose to keep bluffing. If they choose to keep bluffing, this death energy, they won't see it coming. It's going to hit them like a ton of bricks, and it's going to be like over. Something, they're going to lose something. Status, respect, something that they took for granted, maybe other people's kindnesses, maybe money, all kinds of things could be lost by this person if they refuse to take their head out of the past and if they refuse to take the lessons of not knowing any better. Because there is, there's genuine ignorance in the youthful folly. You have to kind of make the mistakes in order to come to a peaceful resolution. So this person could consider things and then come to that peaceful space that Spirit's inviting them into. And this card in the book says, what would peace do? So they need to ask themselves this question. And they need to come into an inner stillness, trust their intuition, and stop manifesting reckless behavior. Some of them know it, some of them don't. But it's going to be some kind of transformation of their awareness of intimacy and of the give and take of energy receipt with Shakti here. They might have a situation end where somebody, they feel that they've been giving too much, and therefore it's a good manifestation. Or they've been given too much to thinking about this past situation and they want to let it go and develop a different type of closeness. A hug a day keeps the demons at bay. An appreciation of a transformation in how they view intimacy. But others will lose this kind of intimacy and they are going to, and someone else is going to protect their energy from this person. And so they will lose something like totally. Yeah. Something needs to go here and they're trying to manifest it. And some of them really want that thing that needs to go to be how they felt in the past about themselves. And some of them are really considering what they've done in the past that was reckless or silly but, and also understanding that they couldn't have done anything differently because it was just where they were at, but the immaturity level of it might shock them and there's a disquiet with it. There's that impatience. Yeah. a fear of being left behind, dealing with the inner child. They could be young, but they might not be. But this mask wearing energy is kind of a fake it till you make it. But they push it too hard. They can push it like too hard and actually end up just belying their own insecurities and causing damage where there doesn't need to be damage. It was just that they were trying to skip the rungs in the ladder. So this person needs to know how to manifest in a balanced way, because they're powerful manifestors regardless of whether they're aware of it or whether they're not. The ability of this person to manifest is second to none. So they either step into the full responsibility of that shaman energy and convert this youthful folly, this ignorance, this idiocy into wisdom, whereby they embrace an ending that's in the offing and understand a different type of intimacy and gift themselves the energy that they need via meditation, via getting that connective shamanic force moving in their body, taking it more seriously, taking their spirituality seriously is what I'm feeling like really fundamentally here, because this person has great capability, and if they don't harness it and use it properly, it can cause immense destruction, and they can get caught in a loop cycle of feeling, self-pitying and using their manipulation to avoid doing work or avoid doing chores or avoid contributing to a space or a situation. And in fact, instead of manipulating, they need to start recognizing that this pattern has to end for them to truly transform and manifest into their own energetic power, because there's a lot of it here. This person has power. Anyway, I really hope that helped. And if it did, please like and subscribe and share. And thank you so much for following my channel. Take care. Bye.